Chapter 24, The Rabbi, 1941. An aunt had given us a small sack of potatoes. That evening, I helped Mother put the treasure away and ration it. A little basket was filled for the Schneiders. Mother's listened intently. When she heard footsteps above, she sent me upstairs with the basket. I climbed the stairs, rang the doorbell, and waited. When no one appeared at the door, I rang again. But nothing moved inside the Schneiders' apartment. I could have sworn someone was upstairs, Mother said. You can try again when we hear someone go up. Perhaps they just don't want to be disturbed. A little later, Friedrich came up the stairs. I knew his step. I grabbed the basket and tried to catch him on the stairs, but the door fell shut before I could reach him. Again, I pressed the bell. Again, in vain. After the third ring, I put down the basket and knocked because I knew there was somebody in the apartment. Friedrich, I called. Friedrich? At last, the door opened. But Herr Schneider, not Friedrich, stood before me. He looked at me crossly, then pulled me inside so quickly that I left my basket outside the door. I had to go out again and fetch the potatoes. Back in the hall, I said, "That's why I came, to deliver these potatoes." Herr Schneider still looked unfriendly. "And you made such a noise just for that?" "I rang at least 10 times, I defended myself, "and no one came to the door, even though I could hear someone in the apartment, so I knocked." Now Friedrich appeared as well. He nodded and took the basket for me. "Why do you scold him?" he asked his father. Be glad and grateful that he brings us potatoes. You know how much we need them." Herr Schneider turned away from me. "That still doesn't give you the right to speak to me in that tone of voice," he spit at his son. "How dare you?" But Friedrich didn't keep quiet. "Is it my fault that you lose your reason the moment something is demanded of you?" Herr Schneider's voice grew louder. "It's not me who's lost his reason, but you. Otherwise, you wouldn't talk to your own father like that." If you were in your right mind, you wouldn't shout," Friedrich retorted. "Why don't you stand by the window while you're at it and tell the whole street why you're so upset?" Beside himself and almost in tears, Herr Schneider answered, "Yes, I'm upset, but I can't help it. I'm afraid. I'm dying of fear." "Would you like to throw him out into the street then?" Friedrich hissed. "Do you want to sacrifice him to calm your fears? Ugh." His father wept. Sobs shook his body. Furious and sad at the same time, Friedrich stared at him. They had apparently forgotten all about me. Then the living room door opened softly. An old bearded man stepped out. When he saw me standing in the hall, he was startled. But then he controlled himself at once. Calmly, he said, "No one shall quarrel because of me. No one shall be afraid for my sake. I am leaving." "No!" Friedrich and his father shouted almost simultaneously. Herr Schneider spread his arms wide and barred the apartment door, his face wet with tears, but he said, "No, Rabbi, you stay." Almost imperceptibly, the Rabbi shook his head. "It's too late now. He has seen me," and pointed at me. Friedrich leapt to my side. "I can vouch for him," he said. "He won't give anything away." But the Rabbi wasn't convinced. "We have too many witnesses, and that is bad. Why should I endanger them all? I am old. I will know how to bear it. And the King of the universe, his name be praised, will help me." Herr Schneider had regained his control. He pushed the Rabbi, Friedrich, and me into the living room. Only then did he speak. "This gentleman is a well-known rabbi," he told me. The Rabbi waved this aside and continued, "The Nazis are searching for me. I am hiding in the Schneider's apartment. Not for long. Friends are going to help me further." He stood right in front of me. "You know what will happen to me if I am caught? If the Lord our God has pity on me, death. Otherwise, unspeakable suffering. But this not only threatens me, it also threatens those who have given me shelter and kept me hidden." I looked at my feet and said nothing. "I also know," the Rabbi continued, "what will happen to you if you don't inform against me. You and you alone must decide our fate. If it's too difficult a burden for you to carry, say so that we may at least save Friedrich and his father. I will not curse you if you tell me to leave." Herr Schneider, the Rabbi, and Friedrich all looked at me. I didn't know what to do. The Rabbi was a stranger to me. And what about my mother and father? Didn't they stand closer to me than this Jew? Might I endanger myself and them for the sake of a stranger? Would I never give myself away? Would I be able to bear the secret, or would I suffer under it like Herr Schneider? The longer I hesitated, the more urgent the three faces before me became. "I don't know what to do," I said very softly. "I don't know."